If I was to drop it right now, my last thought would be, I've had a good life. Lord, give me a sign. Show me what I got.
DMX was a snarling yet soulful rapper who had a string of #1 albums in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but whose personal struggles eventually rivaled his lyrical prowess, died on Friday, 9th April in White Plains, New York. He was 50. DMX was seen on video dancing along to the Jackson 5's Heartbreak Hotel just days before he landed in the hospital due to a reported drug overdose-induced heart attack.
A time for crying and a time for laughing. A time for mourning and a time for dancing. A time for throwing stones. A time for embracing and a time for avoiding embraces. A time for, a time for embracing and a time for avoiding embraces. What? Come on. A time for searching and a time for losing. A time for keeping, a time for throwing away. A time for tearing, a time for repairing. A time for keeping silent and a time for speaking. A time for loving and a time for hating. A time for war, a time for peace. I mean, like I said, it goes back to, you gonna start with a prayer, you gonna do this with a prayer? Yo, there are no words more powerful in the book. And your prayer, your own prayer, will do a lot better than someone else praying for you.
Here's the question about these features. Oh, this the new generation?
A couple?
You got Lil TJ on there?
No, not that dude.
Okay. So new like Rick Ross, new?
Nope. I got
Meek Mill, new?
Nope. I got Griselda Boys.
Griselda.
Pop Smoke.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Wow. And, hold
That's
on.
what type of new I'm doing.
Did you meet Pop Smoke?
No.
So what?
Growl, everything, I guess it was just a coincidence, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I heard it so like,
Yeah. Pop Smoke is you and 50 Cent baby. It's true. It's you and 50 Cent. If you and 50 Cent had a baby, that's Pop Smoke. That's true.
That would be
You know what I mean?
But he would have the baby. He would have the baby. It'll be ours, but he would have it.
All right, guys, if you've been injured in a car accident,
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Spicy S Cajun, and I am here. You are here. We are here with another episode of the So Spicy Podcast, Season 4, official, Episode 2. And I know y'all hear a little bit like, yeah, my voice is kind of gone. It's been a rough weekend. Just hitting Sunday. Today was the late, great, iconic DMX's funeral at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It was massive. It was mad. This was his last day. Here, like riding through the streets in New York in the city. Well, I mean, some of us actually hope that he got one more day to do it tomorrow. But it's a process with these things. Wow. So it's actually 3:31 a.m. in the morning. It's not Sunday. It's not Saturday anymore. It's Sunday now, actually. But Saturday, April 24th, yesterday, was actually the funeral of DMX. And I wanted you guys to reflect there a little bit. I just had like a little bit of X in the beginning. Just a little bit of a pay homage tribute kind of thing. For some of us that miss his voice and some of the funny, witty things that he had to say sometimes, put a little bit of that there. And just want to leave a little bit of extra X flavor, because that's a little bit different from the norm, what I normally do. But I decided I wanted to switch it up tonight. Wow. Still in disbelief a bit. But I guess everything happens at its time. And all we can do is pray. All we can do is pray for the best in situations like this. Pray for the children, the family of him, things of that nature. And just kind of as ex-supporters, fans, followers, whatever, just try to console one another best ways possible, as we can. I did notice they had some events that are going to be going on all this week. They do have a DMX art show tribute at the 1718 Collective Studios at South Street Media Studios. And they're inviting fans, followers, supporters, etc. to come out and just be a part of the DMX tribute that they're having, which is on April 27th. And I believe it's from 5 to 10. And you guys could check it out. The information for the people who can DM is at 1718 Collective Studios. And the information should be there. If there's any further information needed about that, that's their particular Instagram page. I do apologize again for my voice. I'm all over the place with the voice right now. I actually, this past weekend as well, went with my family because I had my great aunt Connie. She passed away from natural causes because she was 85 years old. And I was like, at first I thought, when I got the news, I thought it was from COVID because of the age and what they had going on. But I then found out that it wasn't COVID, so I was relieved to know that it wasn't that, because it would have put a whole different narrative on things with us, entering the funeral home and being able to come together under those types of terms. So we were thanking God that wasn't it. However, we did come together, and we did, as a family, go and put my aunt Connie to rest this past weekend, and it drained me. It drained me really bad. And the reason why, and I'll be honest, I have one of those families that we don't really get to see one another as much until it's a funeral, if that makes any sense. I've always been the type that has been like, hey, let's get together, let's link up, let's go do lunch, let's go take the kids on play dates, let's go. And I've always had that type of family that they were completely against those things. I can't hang out with you because if Aunt Betty finds out, and then if this one finds out, and then, Uncle John finds out, that, it's then it's going to be some type of, nobody got time for that. And it was like a constant battle of excuses every time I tried to link myself and my family and other family members together as well. So I had to begin to learn to love myself and accept myself for who I was first. And say, hey, I'm completely okay with being alone with just me and my children and my followers, my supporters, and my listeners. Because, and God, yeah, of course, God first. Because that's all I need. I don't need anyone that feels the instant need to feel like that they do not need me whatsoever at all, period. The old me maybe felt like, hey, I want to heal that. I want to fix that place with them. I want them to accept me. I want them to get me. I want them to understand me. I want them to feel me. I want them to want me around. And within my family, it was like deeper than that. Like before I was born, like other aspects of different parts of the family, everybody was beefing with one another. So it had like nothing to do with me really, but more so this is just how it's been. And these are traditional curses that I would love to be broken. I would love to break them. You know, and like period, it's like it's a situation where you know how someone doesn't allow something. So yeah, I was feeling like that for a long time. And so I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, hey, family or not, like I said, if you're not reaching out to me and you're not wanting me, like to be like a part of something, us doing something together, whether it be any type of just collectively getting together, thing, gathering, event, whatever it is together as family, and you're not as enthused as I am, then we don't need a link home, girl. And that's something that I hope a lot of the young viewers, especially young female viewers, and males too, viewers are out there listening to right now, because nowadays that's the chase, that's the rat race right there. So many people are hustling backwards and working double. Ooh, excuse me. And I told y'all I always burp on this podcast. It's crazy. By the time I'm done, somebody out there gonna have a burp fetish. But anyways, basically, yeah, I basically became that person within my family that was always trying to like, oh, maybe we need to speak to this one and hook up, and oh, you don't speak to her and she doesn't speak to you. No, we can't be like that. Come on. We should go out. We should, take a vacation, and we should go. And they were like, what? With who? Who's going to be? Who else going to be there? And it's like all this constant ignorance and crazy buffoonery, and before you know it, I'm baffled. And then, look, no one winds up doing anything. And then we're back to the family being broken. And once again, we're doing what? Only meeting and seeing one another at funerals. And I'm tired of it. And to tell you, and to be honest, even more so, my whole thing is, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Because, like, it just completely doesn't make any type of sense. I'm sitting here and it's like, it didn't make sense to me then, and it doesn't make sense to me now. But one thing that I have now that I didn't have before is that I stopped trying to figure out the answer. And a lot of people out there that's still trying to figure out why that aunt don't like you, why this cousin don't like you, why this grandmother don't accept you. Let that shit, let them have it. They will come for you eventually. Let them have it. And that just has to be life at some point, because the best revenge on an op is success. Okay, so you just keep working, keep going hard to be successful, because that's the best on that level. But anyways, not to jump into off or out of the topic. But yeah, so I went to the funeral and I did get to see a couple of good family members that I do share bonds with, and I have bonded with over the years, and it felt really good to see them. And within those experiences, I also had and experienced other experiences that weren't so pleasant as well during this weekend, the time of my Aunt Connie's funeral. And those things kind of made me feel like maybe I shouldn't even ever went to my Aunt Connie funeral. Maybe I should have went to DMX's funeral today or yesterday instead of spending energy going to the wake the day before my aunt. Then later on that night having drama, arguing with family, going through drama like they about to try to jump me in my own damn house that I invited them over to chill at. But again, I had to realize that there was alcohol into play. But my whole thing is, if you're my family and I invite you somewhere after, especially something as serious as a wake for our great aunt that we have so many blessed memories of, you come back and let something so insensitive as me having me and those two female family members that, you know, got crazy in my crib. Yeah. You go that hard because of something that I'm making a choice that I want to do as a parent with my kid, which is I choose to be a little bit harder on my teen because I'm not exactly living in Beverly Hills, because I'm super famous in so many different places, because I just have to move with caution, because I don't have to, oh yeah, my bad, that other thing. I don't have to explain anything to you at 2:30 in the morning when we're in my house and we all have to be back in the morning at 10 a.m. for the funeral anyways. And we weren't spending, everyone wasn't crashing here. We're just chilling here from about 7, 8 that night to now 2:30 in the morning arguing while the rest of the family is trying to sleep and get rest to start the day in the morning. Ear was itching, girl. They talking about me. My shit itching. They was talking about me. So basically, we go there and screaming match, shouting match that could have almost left into a fighting match in my house with my own family members with the same last name as fucking me. Okay? So, I had to sit there and I had to say to myself, you bigger than this. You are somebody huge. People depend on you. Your listeners depend on you. Your viewers listen and depend on you to be there. Your fans, your supporters are depending on you to succeed and be there. These are just regular family members. There's nothing so spectacular or special about them. They're not on television anywhere, broadcasting any special news bulletins anywhere. They're not some type of Grammy Award winners. They're not have any vocal ecclesiastic abilities through singing or rapping or acting or not even modeling. Like, I can't kid you or shit you anymore to tell you that how basic these bitches is in my family. Not all, but the ones that act basic. And I should break my household and my rules and what I got going on for you? Somebody that don't even love who you are most days? Stop. It's all wrong. So it's a whole generational curse that does have to be broken. And within those parameters, because these are people I still do love, there needs to be a therapist moment. Because I already got my therapist. My therapist, her name is Will Marie. Shout out Will Marie. She lit. And we talk and we get to the bottom of those things. Like, come on, we have to. You know, and I try to encourage different family members of mine. And that's what makes these bitches so basic. Because I try to encourage them like, hey, I think something's wrong here. I've traveled and did different things now as an entertainer. I've been privileged to, you know, move around a bit and see different things now. I am not privileged. I've been privileged from time to time. Notice I said that. I'm not claiming the whole black privilege thing, but I've been privileged enough to move around and see different sceneries and experience different environments, you know, and different people and under different circumstances. So yeah, I have different takes on life at some point with different things now. So yeah, for me being around that, I have implemented, or actually, said it. I kind of suggested like, hey, you know what, something's wrong. We need to go ahead and sit down and have therapy with somebody, like as far as the females in this family. And it's like, girl, the whole response, like, ain't that wrong with me? I'm straight. So it's like, how can you convince people that don't even believe that there's something wrong with them, that they may possibly be something wrong with them? Like, you can't convince them. You have to let them find, that's the answer. You can't convince them. You have to let them find out on their own and their own timing. But hopefully it's not too late where they done already done harmed themselves so bad that, they don't get the chance to kind of identify within themselves who they are and prosper. So it's like, if they don't get that chance to like actually sit down with a professional and reflect on some of the things that they've been experiencing and make sense of those things, or come to some type of common ground, like of how they can endure growth of some sort, then it's like they're not ever getting there. And they're going to be stuck on stupid, stuck in stage one, stuck in lane one, stuck on phase one. And people like myself and their own competitions are going to be running laps around them, stupid crazy. And guess whose fault that's not? Mine. And guess who doesn't really give a fuck? Me. Because it's not my life. I have my own children and I have my own things that I have to worry about. Real life, realistically, that can lead to different harmful things within myself and my children's life. Because people are not really literally going to put me first. And it's like that thing. My grandma always used to say this when I was younger. And I now see that it is very real. Granny always used to say this. I know you don't think, she used to say it like this. Them people is not in love with you, girl. Them people ain't in love with you. Fuck you think this is. And that's something that you have to realize and come across when it comes down to, and when that's something that you have to realize and you have to come to parts with, and it's your own family, it's some BS, bro. And it's messed up because you got entertainers like myself that come from families like that, where it's like, it's nothing that they did really to that family, but maybe their mother might have pissed somebody off before they was born, or their grandmother might have pissed somebody off before they was born. So now they at the functions, or they trying to be at the functions, like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, it's whose birthday? It's Peach's birthday. Oh, yeah, hey, Peaches, what's up? Can I come over? Oh, I don't see, what happened was they said, fake ass bitch shit. You know what, Peaches, you could take your birthday party and you could shove it up your pussy and stomp it out and light it on fire for all I give a fuck. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, me chasing somebody or trying to be friends with somebody or trying to mingle with some aspects of my family, I don't want to be bothered. I look like a damn goddamn motherfucking fool. And at that point, that's what I was doing by even asking, hey, can I come to your birthday party? Bitch, I'm spicy the fuck motherfucker the fuck Cajun, bitch. You hear it. You listening. You know it. You see it. Your mama know it. Your grandmama know it. Everybody do. And guess what else they do? They respect it. So I feel like, bitch, don't you ever motherfucking decline my motherfucking invitation to go to your motherfucking birthday party in your apartment. Fuck are you talk about? Bitch, you was not having that shit in Rose Garden, Rose Mansion, some motherfucking where. Bitch, you wasn't having your motherfucking stink-ass motherfucking birthday party in no motherfucking One Oak. Having your motherfucking birthday party at motherfucking Boas. Having your birthday at motherfucking Tayo. Sit your motherfucking stupid-ass motherfucking food stamp welfare ass the fuck down. Show me the keys of a motherfucking mansion. Or at least something that is shitting on an Airbnb. And then tell me where I can't come and I can't bring people to the party. Sit that ass down. That's how I feel about that bitch. And at the end of the day, I probably set myself up being around that bitch. Because you know why? Another bitch from this family brought me around that bitch. And That is another learning experience that I need y'all to be out there listening and watching for. Stop fucking with people that fuck with so many people that you don't fuck with. That is a real clue with people. If y'all don't see different things and y'all need to find out, that's a sure way. If you got a friend, ladies, guys, all y'all out there listening, I'm telling you. If you have a friend that sits there and she knows or he knows that you don't fuck with one or two people and they still kind of deal with them, maybe 4 or 5 people and they still kind of deal with them, they their neighbors, they in their building, they around them, they got to see them, they, you know what I'm saying, different shit, understandable. But now, when you did the math, and you got about 10 motherfuckers that you could add up to say that this motherfucking guy or girl that's supposed to be your cool ass friend, something like a bestie, fuck with, or family member that you that cool with, they fuck with over 10 people that hate you. They fuck with over 10 people that can't stomach you. That's a true sign that they is the motherfucking 11th motherfucker that don't like you too. But they stomaching you because they trying to study you and examine the drip, examine the swag, examine the way of life that you finesse and provide and go off and deal with so easy. How you rock so easy, how you move. Okay? So don't ever get it twisted. And that's what I should have noticed. I'm like, yo, you know I don't fuck with this one no more. At all. She a dub. Because once you steal from me, and I already been nothing but good to you and spent bread with you or whatever the case may be, you done smoked up my whole motherfucking farm with me, worth of weed and shit. Guess what? I don't fuck with you no more. It's a dub. It's funny. It's funny shit. I don't like it. Now you my own cousin, and you gonna go pick up the bitch on your sleeve and make that bitch your bestie now, huh? Just dumb shit. And that's what should have showed me from the beginning. Yeah, that's your cousin, but guess what? She must not be that real. Because at the end of the day, what the fuck is she even doing speaking to that bitch? And you know your bop, that if that was one of her friends she introduced you to, and then she don't fuck with that friend no more, guess who else don't fuck with that friend no more? Me, right here. This family member that got the same last name as your ass. But everybody ain't like me. And that's a fact. And that's something that I've come to parts with. Like, I really did. So, pretty much, there's no guessing and no speculation about some of these people. It's just the math of the movements. It's just the math in their movements. Some of these people, how they move, that tells you who they are. Trust me, when they say, when somebody show you who they are the first time, believe them, that is a true saying. Y'all better understand and recognize that shit. Because it don't only just go for friends in the street. It go for family members too, boo. And I am completely pissed off that I went to my Aunt Connie's repast. I am completely pissed off that I went to my Aunt Connie's wake. Pissed. Because I burnt energy with people that probably would have never burned no energy to do anything for me. To the point where the following day I had to work podcast, excuse me, not a podcast, well, of course podcasts I'm obviously doing it now, but do a podcast and a pop-up shop and a show and promote 2 of my artists. Because I now have 2 artists. I've managed one producer. He goes by the name of Juan Sosa, very new from Memphis, Tennessee. And I also am momager to my 13-year-old daughter that raps, Kid Kenzo. So I had 2 artists, well, I still do actually. In a couple of hours, we have to be there. We have a listening party today, okay? With a couple of other artists and things like that being productive. So I have that. And then there's this podcast. And right before the podcast, I had a 6-hour pop-up shop / showcase that I was at or supposed to be at. And then before that, there was DMX's funeral. So I'm like, go to the funeral, go to the pop-up shop, run do the podcast, get a little rest, wake up, be back at the listening party with both the artists. Like, a lot. On top of the stresses of arguing with this family to the point where I lost my sexy ass voice damn near. Y'all got me on this podcast for a reason. Y'all love to hear my little prop ass, sexy ass, ratchet ass voice. My shit was straight Brooklyn today. Yeah, from the time when I answered, from the time when I jumped on the podcast. I was like, yo, it's spicy. Hey, everybody. Sounding crazy. Because I was having a battle, screaming, argue match with my cousins. Like, get out of my house. Get out. It's 2:30 in the morning. We got to wake up in the morning. Oh, why are you still here? And they was standing there looking at me like, bitch, move me. And I'm like, bruh, like, be more classy than that. Like, y'all got y'all kids with y'all and shit. Be more classy, for real. Like, seriously. Oh, you're pussy. You won't do nothing to me. In my face, spitting all in my face and shit. Like, what? Are you shitting me? You know how bad I want to whoop somebody's ass in my house for that disrespect shit? But I've grown. I've grown to the point where I can say, please leave. Just go. You're family. I don't want to fight you, and I'm not going to fight you. I'm not even going to disrespect you. Just can you please leave? And that's what I found myself doing from 2:03 a.m. to 4:13 a.m. with two grown-ass women, 27 and 33, with fucking 6-year-old sons with them each. And a drunk cousin, boy cousin, that kept stumbling about the floor, hit the ground, acting weird and shit in here. I'm like, yo, my kids are still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank God for my other cousin, Makiba, was there. Because she's really like the most rational one. And she was like the youngest one. She's like, yo, y'all, this doesn't make any sense. Come on, chill. And then she was coming at me as if I was like fueling it too. Because she was like, you know, you're wrong. You're wrong because, you know, we don't like your boyfriend. I'm like, girl, that boyfriend is not even up nowhere, around nowhere right now, bothering y'all. So how do we even get on that? But regardless of what, you know, that obviously brought it to another level of something else. That's something I hate when people's arguing about one thing. We argue about one thing about me, 2 o'clock in the morning, we arguing in my house about sometimes I'm a little too rough on my daughter. I need to, like, not be so rough on her. I need to give her more freedom and let her get out more and all that. But see, square bitches will never understand that. You a celebrity or you stupid bitch. You let your kids out the house the wrong time, the wrong day. Them motherfuckers will be a ransom note. Are you dumb? Nobody ain't gonna ransom y'all motherfucking kids. Because y'all are nobodies. Okay? At the end of the day, like, nobody ain't gonna try to do no dumb shit with y'all kids. Because y'all are nobodies. My kids will be the first ones. Because people are quick to assume, oh, she famous. I know she rich. Oh, that's her son. Oh, that's her daughter. Oh, word. You know what? We could kidnap them and we could try to probably send her a note. They got to run the hood. They got to go back and forth and do different things. They don't need to be all willy-nilly out there. Yeah, so I keep them shelter. Yeah. And at 2:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, I got to argue about that under my roof with my family members. And then it goes over into the next part of the conversation. Oh, but your boyfriend, oh, we don't like him. He ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit. Is he here? Is he in your face? Is he up? Is he? No. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? It just became so ignorant, you know, and I was just like, okay, that gave me the cue, like, don't fight, don't argue with them. They're taking it somewhere else. They're clearly secret competition that you didn't know about. Now you're finding out, because for them to, like, go from that topic to the next, and I've been here in my house, and I've had disagreements with friends. And I was like, yo, you getting loud, come on, it's late. And they were like, my friends was like, hey, you know what? You might be right. Let me take my ass home, and, bitch, guess what? You ain't got to put me out, bitch. I'm out. And they, you know, got their stuff and they left. But the next day when they sent me the text message, yo, I had one too many, my bad. I received it very well and I accepted it. And I still love them for that, because it's like, I knew it was real. Because when they left, they didn't come back and start texting me stuff like, disrespectful shit, or they didn't, when they was leaving out, they didn't leave and then change the, oh, by the way, and your man, you know he probably's a fucking cheater. You don't even belong with him. I don't like him for you. Fuck him. That friend Taisha didn't do that to me. Taisha didn't do that to me. She was like, girl, bah. She texted me after, though, some laughing emojis and shit, because we was both kind of drunk. And I was like, yo, wait, you left the Chinese food. We ordered food before we got mad at me and you left. She texted me funny faces and, like, was out. But, like, that's it. When we woke up the next morning, we were both on one another's head. Like, yo, my bad. Especially me. I definitely was like, yo, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, that's a good-ass friend of mine. And I just didn't want to lose her as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Even though we were both intoxicated. And I didn't know how she was going to receive it or how she was going to come out. But she definitely came right. She was right on time. And like, yo, you right, friend. You right, yo. And that's what showed me that me and her have a friendship worth fighting for. Have a friendship worth withstanding power. So at the end of the day, like, you know, those are friendships that I treasure and I value, you know, and I protect. That's why sometimes I don't always chill with her. Sometimes my family come around when it comes chill around me a lot. And she's like, hey, she'll call me like, what you doing? I'll be like, oh, I'm handling some stuff with some people. I'll hit you back. Every time that's something else as young women and young men that we have to value. A lot of our friends that support us and that like our ride or dies like that, and they not really family to us sometimes. We got to protect them from family sometimes. Because sometimes you got those family members that you don't know is your secret competition, and they trying to ruin all your friendships, all your relationships, all your career paths, all your dreams, all your goals, all your thoughts in your mind that you ever thought that you were going to go ahead and accomplish. Like, and y'all got to like see that shit prematurely, scope it out and detonate, and then just straight up end it and kill it all and get that toxicity out your lives. And that's what I am still in the process of doing, in the process of doing now. So part of it was a bit of a sacrifice. I had to sacrifice the DMX funeral thing. I did, because my energy just wouldn't allow it. My energy wouldn't allow it. So tired, and so two things got X'd out of my day today: the DMX funeral and the 6-hour pop-up shop. So the only thing I'm up doing now is the podcast, and I'm going to rest after this so that I can wake up and I can do the listening parties to promote my artists. And I know that DMX spirit would have wanted it that way. He wouldn't have wanted me in the street in Atlantic Center with Barclays around all these different people, different types of personalities, because let's just be real. I hate to coddle people. I talk real shit, and this is why y'all listen to my show. Being in the street around all different types of personalities and people where I am not 100% accurately at my mind state, because I'm extremely exhausted, tired, and emotional, because I just got finished going through this roller coaster of arguing and crying, of losing an aunt, and arguing and screaming and crying with family, beef mode. So I feel like X-Spirit would have wanted me to be like, yo, you know what? No, don't come to Barclays. Get the music done. X used to say this. X used to say, yo, write that pain down, yo. Write that pain. Put that pain in music and sell it. Write that pain. Get that money off that pain. You feel me? And I think this is one of those kind of situations, because all I could do is stay home and write and work. And how I was feeling, jot that pain down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to lie to you, it actually feels a lot better. And you know what's so funny, you guys out there listening? A lot of us out there in the world, some of us out there in the world, like myself, I'm a rapper, I'm a writer. It's for sure. It's certified. I can write. I can spit my ass off. Like, you know what I'm saying? But some of us out there are not rappers. So even if you don't rap, you guys, sometimes maybe if you feel like you need to write something down, write some poetry. And every poem don't rhyme, okay? And because some poetry is actually not just poetry, it's spoken word. So when you say stuff like, I'm so alone, I can't be more one deep. When you look at me, I go down and I say, no way to my op. Like a op like you, like a op like them, like a op like him, like a op that's not my friend. I begin, I start. Like, you know, just to give some of that was just like off the dome, it was just regular, but just to give some type of examples about like spoken word, because some people get it and they're like, I can't write poetry. I can do, jot it down, write that pain down. Even if it's a paragraph, yo, turn that pain into a short story. Yo, you nice with cameras? Write that pain down, turn it into a short story in your notes. Write that, because nowadays these iPhones come with something called notes. Write that pain down, write that quick story down, or whatever the case may be, and turn that shit, write that pain down and turn it into something worth reflecting on, something worth producing, something worth editing, something worth promoting, something worth teaching and showing someone else a learning lesson or a learning experience out of it from the visuals. It's so many different ways that you can actually put those type of ideas into motion. So y'all get up out there and find your outlet, find your niche, and put your energy into that. When you're angry, when you're upset, and when you have something you just want to tell somebody, and things of that nature. Even if your thing, like I said on the last episode, even if your thing is going on live, you might not have a freaking talent, but you're good at fuck as going on live. You're good as fuck as at going on live. And you put your live on and you talk your shit, you get your followers, and then people start recording your lives and putting them on YouTube. And now your lives is going viral and you just getting paid off just being on live. But that's the way you talk and you vent your shit out and have your supporters and your followers start building up and listening to you and things of that nature. So whatever it is that is your thing, guys, go aim high for it. And leave them bullshit bum ass fake family members alone, because a lot of people are chained down to those people thinking, oh, it's my family, I can't leave them. That's one thing about DMX that's real. What he said in that prayer, he said, but everybody can't go. And I learned that. And I heard that, when I was younger, when I first started listening to DMX. I remember my first time I heard a DMX song. I was in the Bronx. I used to go to Taft High School in the Bronx. I used to live in Highbridge. I'm actually from Brooklyn, but I used to live in Highbridge. That's why I have so many friends in Highbridge, because I grew up in Highbridge as a teenager for a little while before I moved to Jamaica, Queens, and P&A, Parsons and Archer. And I lived in the group home in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens, 87th Road on Parsons and Hillside. Actually, Parsons and 87th Road, to be honest, across the street from from Hillcrest. I used to call it the Hillcrest back in the days in Jamaica. I went to Jamaica High School. But even before that, as I was saying, like, I was in the Bronx. The first time I heard a DMX song, I was riding the BX 11, I want to say. It could have been a 13, because I was coming past Claremont Park. It was the BX 11 or the 13. I was coming past Claremont Park on a bus, and the bus had stopped right there by the park, by that little Popeyes right there where the bus turns at once it goes up the hill by Claremont Park. And I heard that song, and the prayer came on first. But the first time I heard the song, it was in my Walkman, and he's like, but everybody can't go. And I didn't know what he meant, but when I got older, I definitely found the definition for it. But I remember that poem that he said right before it. It was a prayer, actually, a prayer poem prayer. And he's like, but everybody, at the end of the prayer, he goes, but everybody can't go. And then it comes on, my niggas, you won't take this from me, baby. You will not take this from me, baby, baby. My niggas. That's my first time I heard a DMX prayer and a song that touched me. And I had just moved to the Bronx, and I was going through a lot. And, okay, not trying to cry again like I did last episode, but this whole DMX thing, it has me emotional. And it has me emotional because I have bundles of memories to so many DMX records. Like we all do. And I heard it, and it was a few times that I listened to DMX, and I heard certain songs, and it inspired me or made me feel better or uplifted me. But that day I could remember the pain and the hurt I was feeling. even suicidal thoughts of being 14 years old at the time and just being in high school and just being into the gang activity so deep, you know, and having only my gang to hold me down, because at the time when I moved to the Bronx, I got given away from another family member. Like I ran away from one because like it was very abusive there in the house. It was like really, really, like I would get hit in my eye, hit over the eye, closed eyes, black eyes with table legs and shit. Like I would get like black and blues. I still got all over on the side of my back of my arm that never gonna leave. The rest of my life, people be thinking that, you know, I'd be in an abusive relationship because they see the mark and it looks so fresh. But it's when I was 11 years old. I went to the store and I bought for like my foster mom, which is family. You know, I don't want to say which family had me at that time because it's really, you know, different. But that person that was in my family that had me at the time, she sent me to get her some cigarettes from the store all the time. She would always send me, but this time when I went, because I was so young, I was only 11, they had to sneak and put it in a brown bag and like, don't open it, don't look at it in the store because we don't want cops to see it and give us a fine, and you know something happens with your parent. So, you know, she was gangster. She had the hood on smash. You know, she had her number spot. She ran numbers. She had her spot. She sold drugs. Like she was a big ass drug lord in the hood. But it just so happened she was my foster mama too. You know what I'm saying? And basically, all the stores already knew her. I could go to the liquor store at like 6 years old and get her a bottle of liquor, whatever. So I went to the store to go get the cigarettes, but like there were cops in the store, so they put it in a bag and they balled up the brown bag and said, just take it straight home. So I, take it straight home. But they know what I get. I always get Newport 100s. So I get home and I give her the bag, and she had been fiending for a cigarette. She's like, cigarette fiend. So I give her the bag and I'm like, oh, here's your cigarettes. And she's like, it took you long enough. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I was just one of those kids that I didn't get to go outside at all. And not like with my daughter, like I'm like over her or whatever, because she's like a lot more wilder than I was. Meg the Stallion little girl compared to me at 13. Virgin, some more shit, you know what I'm saying? And just mad on smash, like color purple smash, like beaten smash type shit. The only thing I wasn't getting was raped. I was just getting beaten really brutally. A couple of times I thought I lost my life. I got beaten so bad. So basically, I went to the store for her, and when I came back or whatever, I gave her a bag, and she was upset about, how long I took or whatever, which I feel like I didn't take long, but I did have, like, everybody knew me. So as I'm walking, everybody said, oh, hey, Rena, what's up, Rena? It's like, my first name is Sharina, so naturally everybody in my hood and my family call me Sharina, so, or TT, because that's just was, I don't know why the hell, I have no T's in my name, but my dad's side of the family always called me that, whatever. So, well, actually, I know why, because they were like, oh, you used to say tea leaf all the time, but you would say TT instead of saying tea leaf, so we would call you TT. So that's what they said, but it's stupid to me, but it's cute. But anyway, so they was like, oh, Rena, oh, hey, Rena, what's up? And I was going to the store, hey, Rena, give me a hug, what you doing? How's your grandmother? How's your aunt? And I'd stop and be like, oh, everybody's cool, and I was trying not to be a talkaholic, because I know the time was rushing, and she would think I was outside, like, trying to have sex or some shit. So it's like, yo, let me run my ass and come the fuck back, so I don't have problems. So, obviously, I came back, and I guess I took too long, a minute too long. And she's like, why did you take this long? And I said, I'm sorry. And she opened the bag to the cigarettes, and it wasn't. When she unraveled the